Philippine Veterans Week is celebrated from April 5 to 11 to promote, preserve, and memorialize the principles, ideals, and deeds of Filipino war veterans. Araw ng Kagitingan, on the other hand, is celebrated yearly on the 9th of April, pursuant to Executive Order 203, Series of 1987, to remember and honor the valor of Filipino and American soldiers during the campaign against invading Japanese forces during World War II. The commemoration of Araw ng Kagitingan falls within the Philippine Veterans Week. For the year 2016, the theme is Isabuhay ang Kagitingan, Kapayapaan ay Pagkaisahan, Kamtin ang Mithing Kaunlaran. Said theme encourages all Filipino to let valor define our lives, to unite to peace, and to aspire for the progress that we so desire. It also presents our veterans as among the country's national treasures. Also, it aims to revive the ideals of Kagitingan, which the Filipino race has been known for, essentially because of our veterans' valor and selfless sacrifices, to strengthen our collective sense of national pride, and to impart to every Filipino, especially to the youth, that the valor and the selfless sacrifices demonstrated by our veterans during the war must be emulated in our day-to-day lives to achieve lasting peace and progress. This year's Technical Working Committee had a series of preparatory meetings. The first meeting was held on February 5, 2016. The second and third meetings were held on March 1 and March 31, 2016. Promotional events were also conducted to prop up the celebration. One of these was the free screening of General Luna on March 9, 2016. The film showing was attended by veterans, students from nearby schools in Camp Aguinaldo, media, and other guests. Another promotional event was the launching of the book For Love of Freedom, Pursuit of Freedom from Want by Dr. Senen Asuan. In his book, Asuan did not only pay tribute to Philippine veterans, but instilled a deep sense of national pride. A symposium on the images of valor and victory was also held on March 15, which featured unsung heroism of soldiers during and after the World War II in the Philippines. The symposium had two parts. The first part discussed the heroism at war, selflessness of Filipino soldiers during the Japanese occupation and the liberation period, while the second part was about Medal of Valor awardee testimonials of gallant defenders of our country. Other government institutions had their promotional events as well. The Department of Education sponsored a nationwide essay writing contest and a national creative painting contest to increase the awareness of the students on the significance of Araw ng Kagitingan and the Philippine Veterans Week. The Veterans Federation of the Philippines Sons and Daughters Association Incorporated also hosted a nationwide oratorical contest for both college and high school students. The province of Bataan organized a series of events. Parada ng Kagitingan, Parangal sa mga bayani, a tribute to war veterans. Tagisang Diwang Bataan, a history quiz bee. Bataan Freedom Run. Padyakan sa Bataan, among others. UPROTC also organized the DOSH 2016 Kagitingan Run. The Veterans Memorial Medical Center also held a medical mission on April 8 at Agoo, La Union. A huge crowd trooped into the venue to avail of free medicines and surgical services such as free circumcision, orthodontic care, pediatric checkup, among others. The Campus Freedom March was another event organized by the Automobile Association of the Philippines. This year's theme was March for a Veteran. The participants chose a veteran, someone they know from their hometown, and wrote the name of the veteran in their bib. The Campus Freedom March was held on April 11. For the event proper, the annual observance of the Philippine Veterans Week kicked off with a sunrise ceremony at the Libingan ng mga Bayani on April 5. The said ceremony provided an opportunity for Filipino veterans to honor the fallen comrades. The guest of honor and speaker for the event was Lieutenant General Eduardo Año, the 57th Commanding General of the Philippine Army. Defense Secretary Voltaire T. Gasmin led war veterans, veteran support institutions, veteran servicing institutions, and the youth representatives in the wreath-laying ceremony, which is an institutional way of venerating the memory of Filipino patriots and martyrs who laid down their lives for the motherland, thus offering the most supreme sacrifice of all. Honorable Eduardo R. Ermita, former Executive Secretary of the Philippines, was a special guest and keynote speaker in the review in honor of the veterans, which is a way by which the armed forces of the Philippines pay tribute to their forebears and the country's senior defenders, the Filipino war veterans, and of bringing to fore the Filipinos' peculiar brand of heroism and love for country. Honorable Jesus C. Milan, Undersecretary for Civil, Veterans, and Retiree Affairs, led the veterans and the youth in a tribute to all Filipino heroes on April 7 in the historic Corregidor Island in the province of Cavite. Said ceremony aims to honor all Filipino heroes, patriots, and defenders who fought and died for country's freedom and liberty. His Excellency President Benigno Simeon Aquino III led the Araw ng Kagitingan ceremony at Mount Samat, Pilar, Bataan. In his speech, the President announced some of the benefits that are made available by his administration to the veterans, such as the cleansing of the list of pensioners receiving benefits through the PIVAL Validation Program, benefits under the Veterans Hospitalization Program, improvement of the facilities of the Veterans Memorial Medical Center, educational benefits given to the descendants of veterans, among others. President Aquino also emphasized that he joined the celebration as he sees it as an opportunity to contribute to the national understanding of the nation's history. On April 10, Pagunita sa Capas was commemorated. It was an annual gathering of veterans that gives tribute to all Filipino and American soldiers who perished during the infamous Bataan Death March that culminated in Camp O'Donnell in April 1942. Around 25,000 Filipino and 6,000 American soldiers succumbed to death during the said death march due to sickness, brutal treatment, deprivation, and hardships of war. Replication ceremonies were also held in different cities and provinces nationwide, such as in Davao City, Gumaca, Quezon, Baguio City, Lucena City, Bacolod City, and Tacloban City. The week-long national observance of the 2016 Philippine Veterans Week that began at sunrise came to a close with a sunset ceremony on April 11 at the Libingan ng mga Bayani, Fort Bonifacio in Taguig City. Veterans, widows, children, and great-grandchildren of veterans, both the alive and the fallen, gathered before the tomb of the unknown soldiers and shared their personal reflections on how their lives were touched by the veteran in the family. The Philippine Veterans Week tells not only the story of our veterans, rather, it tells our story as a nation. It serves as a continuous challenge for every Filipino on what we can do more for our country. If Filipinos are able to see the significance of the Philippine Veterans Week in Araw ng Kagitingan, we will give more value to our freedom and democracy. Thus, this event is annually held to remind us that we, as a nation, must continue the ideals of valor and the tradition of heroism.